We have Amazon still in focus today. Amazon shares surging after the bell, up 7% on the first quarter net sales beating and a positive outlook for Q2. We have Nick Jones, JMP Securities Equity Research Analyst, joining us. Nick, what was your biggest takeaway from Amazon's report?
I was really encouraged by AWS performance and the margin performance. Really, the margin performance showed up in the 1P, 3P segments, which I think some investors have been focusing on is, can we get e-commerce to be more profitable again, or at least start pacing back towards profitability? So better than expected operating income in North America segment, international segment, AWS came in strong as well. So overall, really solid results in the first quarter.
Nick, what do you think about the cost-cutting measures? Because clearly, when you take a look at these numbers, it looks like Amazon has its costs under control, better under control than maybe the street had thought last quarter. What do you think that landscape looks like going forward?
Yeah, I think that's right. I mean, that's what we're going to be squarely focused on the calls. Any kind of commentary we can get from management really around AWS trends in 2Q and the margin profile in 2Q within AWS. It's a bit of a catch-22 because you hear management talk about helping their AWS clients maybe spend less money to establish long-term relationships. So there's a little bit of ebb and flow here in terms of making sure you're doing the right thing for the customer while also delivering what Wall Street wants to see, which is profits.
Nick, what do you think about Amazon's forecast for its coming quarter?
So far, let's go. We need to unpack that on the call. Again, I really think it's going to be the commentary around April trends for AWS. I think the street's really looking for around 9 to 10% year-over-year growth in 2Q. We'll kind of see if they give us commentary on the call around that. But overall, the 2Q guide, top line came in line with what people were looking for. Bottom line straddled consensus as well, maybe a little bit lighter, but I think better than feared. So we're seeing the stock react after hours because of this.
Nick, what about AI, artificial intelligence? That certainly had been the theme here from Microsoft when we heard from them earlier this week. Google, Alphabet also making a number of references to artificial intelligence, AI, during their earnings call. We did hear a little bit from Jassy just in terms of the plan for Amazon with AI. Do you see it reshaping their business, or how do you see Amazon incorporating AI down the road?
Yeah, I think this has been part of their business for a very long time. We've now had the benefit of ChatGPT being out there, so now consumers kind of really got to use this firsthand and understand the power behind it. But Amazon's been focused on this category for a long time, whether it's generative AI or machine learning. They even called out machine learning as one of the reasons their advertising business continues to outperform as they continue to innovate and serve proper ads to consumers. So I think this has been part of their playbook for a long time, and I expect them to be squarely in the competition going forward.
And Nick, I got to ask you, what headwinds do you think Amazon has to deal with coming up?
Really, is there going to be a recession in the second half? That's, I think, the big question. Will the consumer hang in there and continue to spend money, or won't they? That's really what everyone's focused on. And, we hear some conflicting data points out there. UPS said maybe weaker consumer demand. Visa comes out and says stronger demand. Amazon puts out good results on 1P and 3P. So far, the consumer seems to be hanging in there. We really need to see if they continue to, particularly if we hit kind of a recessionary environment in the second half.
Nick, FX headwinds, the dollar, the strength of the dollar, how big of a challenge of a headwind has that been for Amazon, and what do you think that looks like here for the current quarter?
Yeah, it's tough to say right now. I mean, we'll see. I mean, we've heard other companies like eBay talk about a weakening U.S. dollar. That we may see less of an impact as we progress through the year. But again, this is all kind of macro dynamics at play. We're going to kind of have to pay attention to what the Fed does, how consumers react, and kind of what impact that has on the U.S. dollar and Amazon.
Yeah, certainly in the earnings statement here, they booked a $2.4 billion unfavorable impact from year-over-year changes in foreign exchange rates throughout the quarter. Nick Jones, always great to get your instant reaction. Thanks so much for joining us.